What are you going to do? We might have to amputate. Whoa, Doc, don't take the leg. Ira, don't let them take the leg. Isn't there anything else you can do? He thinks he's an athlete. Doctor, look, it's headed for his testicles. Take it, take the leg.
Oh, I like that quote. Do you know that one, Brett?
I'm trying to place it, and for some reason I can't.
That's a conversation with David Duchovny and Orlando Bloom. Is it Bloom? Jones. Orlando Jones.
Oh, yeah. What, Evolution?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen that since you owned it on VHS in the early 2000s.
Yep. I had to introduce my wife to it probably about 5 years back.
I'm surprised I didn't make the cut with
the rewatchability.
rewatchability.
I mean, it was rewatchable a ton when I was a kid. I think, honestly, some of the rewatchability of kid movies is so different, teenager movies, than it is now. Like, looking back at some of those, I'm like, yeah, I watched that a ton, but I don't think I could watch it as much anymore.
I still agree with what we decided, so.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I mean, I was sad a little bit because I was like, you know what? I probably should have gone with Robin Hood Men in Tights. And then I just replayed, your quote about, everything that's happening now. I was like, nope. That was the deciding factor right there.
I forgot. Did the final round come down to you, Brett?
Yep, it did.
You did.
Yeah, I was fine either way.
Interesting thing about David Duchovny, because I was sitting there thinking about this actually the other day. And, he tried to get away from the Mulder role. And I remembered that movie, and I remembered him on, what is it? Zoolander. And I'm like, but did he really get away from the Mulder role, or did he just disappear into obscurity? And then I was flipping through the channels. I was watching a series on Netflix called The Watcher. And I saw this lady, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Stifler's mother.
Oh, she's in that?
I'm like, I'm sorry, you did one role, and you are forever Stifler's mom.
Yes. She's doing a commercial right now for Christmas. I don't even know what it's for. But I see her, I'm like, yep, Stifler's mom. And the funny thing is a long time ago I read about her. Her dad is I want to say, this is 5 years worth of memory going back. I want to say her dad's a famous director or something like that, in Broadway or something like that. And her mom is an actor. So she comes from, stock of being such.
Yeah.
But yet, typecasted.
Stifler's mom.
Or I will give her one exception, and that's Legally Blonde. But that's she could be Stifler's mom and doing that at the same time. It's the same. It's the same character.
Day job.
Yeah, it's a day job. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because you don't ever know what happened to. I mean, for those people who know Legally Blonde, she's breaking up with her husband. You don't know who Stifler's dad is. Why haven't they said Stifler's dad is?
Oh, my word. We need to delve into that. Yeah. I mean, we spent forever on Jason Biggs's dad and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
Eugene Levy's so funny. I
Yes,
like how he's I think he's an actor that just leaned into his stuff, you know? He was in, I think, all the spinoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go with it. And, if I ever was approached for a role like that, I would typecast me. You know what? I will be in, your stupid Disney TV show that lasts 9 seasons. Because guess what I get? I get royalties.
Uh-huh.
And I might get invited to Comic-Cons where I speak on panels about, what was it like to play, the dad of so-and-so. It was great. I got a paycheck.
And then you get to do your famous quote over and over as you sign autographs.
Exactly.
Whatever that is.
That's right. All right. Well, welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast, the only podcast holding on to hope for an alien invasion, a zombie apocalypse, or Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. To my left, we have our resident teacher and athlete, the Harry Block of the podcast, Brett.
All right. I'm going to guess that's a reference to evolution.
Yes.
Okay.
Which was Harry Block?
Orlando Jones.
Okay.
And then across from me sits a man with military intelligence and isn't afraid to weaponize it. the Iracane of the
Hurricane.
podcast.
Oh man, you're gonna meet. What is the virus called, or what is his thing?
The Cane Madness.
Cane Madness. Yes, I'll give you the Cane Madness.
Jeremy. And lastly, the man that will drive his car after being blown up by aliens and then sing to them on mic, "You are so beautiful," at an open mic small town mall, the Wayne of the podcast, to me.
I didn't know his name was Wayne. I just was gonna say Stifler because it's Stifler.
Props to you for being able to willingly sing at an open mic, because if it was a world in crisis or me singing on a mic to save it, I'd be like, well, we've had a nice run.
I would do the kaka and the tuki. I think we've established the kaka and tuki do not work.
I'm going to kill myself.
All right, merit badges. What do we got?
All right, so I'll start off. So my merit badge, I am entitling it, "I fought the law and the law won."
Ooh.
So if you can recall, I don't even know how many episodes back, about me trying to get away, hiding my car from the cops because it was an unregistered car. The law caught up to me.
Oh.
It was funny because me and my wife were in the process of finally getting all the stuff done. We first took it to the body shop because we had an engine light on, so we needed to get that fixed. And first of all, that was a miracle that we were expecting like tons of work needing to be done, and then they're like, "It's just this one thing." You're like, "It's just this one thing? It only costs so little? Oh my gosh, you've made my day, sir." And so we got it fixed, and then we were gonna go to the DMV and get the emissions done, but life happened, and the next day I had to go to the airport for going to work, and on the way there I got pulled over. And the funny thing is, so I was trying to evade the cops, and lucky thing he didn't call me on that.
Oh.
Because he was in the lane to the right of me, but back like 2 car lengths, and I saw him there. Like, I was like, "Oh crap, it's too late." I think he saw me, but just in case. And so there's a way that from my house to get on the freeway to go to the airport that I normally don't take, but I was like, I'll take it this way. It'll look natural. And so I cross over the solid line, the white line, to turn left. And he was in the process of coming over to come get me, and he pulled me over. And he cited me not only for the not having registered,
But for crossing the white line.
Yeah, crossing the white line.
Oh, you're going to have to tell Dad that, because he does not believe that happens.
And then he reminded me repeatedly that he was doing me a favor, which I agree he was. He's like, "I have the authority to impound your car." And he's like, after, what is it? I forget if he said 3 or 6 months after your registration is expired, they can impound your car. Ooh. So if it wasn't for the fact that I was going to the airport right then and there, he would have impounded it. So.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
It was so we have an officer that routinely comes to our school. And last year we had a teacher from Texas, and the police officer always was like, "So who moved here from Texas? Just out of curiosity." And this one teacher was like, "I did." He's just like, "And you're living here, right?" And he's just like, "Yeah." He just goes, "How long you been here for?" And he's just just answering questions. He's like, "Yeah, I've been here for about 3.5 months." He goes, "And you still have Texas plates? That's interesting." And suddenly, like, this teacher started panicking. He's like, he's just like, "Hey, if I wanted to, I'd take it. I'm just giving you a heads up. Like, people won't understand." He goes, "I understand. You're a teacher. You have this. You have, you have weird work hours. The only time you can take time off is if you actually request it off, or weekends." And he's just like, "But, I'd get that looked at."
Oh man, I've had that once. I got pulled over in Texas, and they're like, "Yeah, you still have, you don't have Texas license plate. How long you been here?" I'm like, "A month." And he's like, "How long are you planning to stay here?" I'm like, "Not much longer." So, and he's like, yeah, that was the whole thing. Anyway, it's so weird. I wish they would give you a year.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because I don't know. These days, more so than in the past, I feel like people move around a lot more quickly,
Yeah.
and they're not very. Nobody's really fully established until a year. I feel like.
It's also really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, very true. Very true.
All right, well, I'll go next with my merit badge. Mine's kind of a lame merit badge, but I tried for the first time yesterday the McGriddle.
Oh, really? What'd you think of it?
So I got the McGriddle merit badge. My wife was like, "You should try it. You should try it. It's so good." I was like, "Okay," and I tried it, and I wasn't impressed. It was just meh.
The McGriddle, is that the one that's like a little, like the outside, is it kind of a syrupy flavor?
Yeah, it's kind of like a English muffin
Oh.
pancake combo with some maple flavoring inside it, and then sausage, egg, and cheese.
Now, amongst you guys, am I insane for hating English muffins? Like, they're the
No.
most disgusting things
No,
in the world, in
they're-
my opinion.
It's like, I remember Mom would buy them all the time, and she'd put. It's constantly like, "Hey, do you want me to do this?" And then Grandma would start doing it too, and she's like, "Oh, would you like me to make your English muffin?" No, I'll just like eat nothing. Like,
Yeah. I don't like English muffins, obviously. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of breakfast stuff for some reason, so I get it.
It was just, I don't recommend it.
Egg, cheese, and whatever your choice of meat just doesn't do it for me.
So it's the McGriddle. So my badge is the McGriddle sandwich with the Ghostbuster no sign.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like it's not a no, it's a meh. So we need to come up with a meh sign.
So instead of it being a slash, it's a straight across.
I don't know. I have to think on that because there should be a meh sign.
Yeah, I mean, minus an emoji.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Emojis have ruined us. We could have had a meh sign, but emojis started taking over.
That's true.
All right, so I have mine. Mine is called Lights On, Lights Off merit badge. So for Black Friday, I scanned all the deals. There's nothing that like wowed me. I picked up the Batman movie for $10, which is a 4K Blu-ray digital copy, and I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah,
I will
nice.
take
Yes.
that. And even though I don't have a 4K, but I'm like,
But
it was actually cheaper to get the 4K version than the actual Blu-ray. Just
Wow.
so
So does that come in like extra dark black?
I possibly
Like
yeah.
the blacks you've never seen before?
Exactly. Oh yeah. And you know what? And what's his face? Who's Batman? Twice as moody. But I decided while I was over at Best Buy, I was gonna pick up a couple of those Amazon smart lights. And I bought one, and I bought a color one, and I was just like, I'll take one for outside, and I'm just curious what the color one would be. And so now, and I won't say her name, but now I will go to my smart device and say, lights on, and then I will say, turn the light blue, turn the light pink, and then I immediately went back to the store and bought 4 more. I am having so much fun turning on and off the lights.
Did yours go to music at all too? I've never. I know some do.
I guess I don't know. I haven't looked at. I can only imagine the fun when I discover that. But no, yeah. And now I have them in my room, and so now I have a 4th. I guess you could say alarm, because now I can just say turn on at 7:00, and they turn on at 7:00.
Nice.
Oh, it is so cool.
That's funny that you bought that this week, because I also bought some this week. One of my favorite / also kind of not my favorite smart companies, Wise, released those bigger bulbs. Like, the ones that are like,
Yeah. Oh, I was looking for those at Best Buy, but they didn't have
yeah,
those.
I've never seen anybody have those. And Wise announced it this week through an email that I got. And as soon as I saw the email, I went in and bought it. I was like, I've been waiting for these, and so I have them up. Only 4 of them, but they're upstairs in my where the TV is. But yeah, I haven't played with it too much, but I am happy about that. And then they throw in an extra normal light bulb for free. But yeah, those are fun light bulbs.
Now I have buyer's remorse.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But yeah, it is cool. I need to play around more to see how I can control it with my voice, because I have the Google version of the Assistant.
yeah.
Spin the wheel.
Okay, Criddle. Oh, let me explain first. So we have 10 categories of questions, which we're going to spin the wheel to determine who gets which question to ask all the rest of us. So Criddle's first, and you get Would You Rather.
Would you rather live as a bubble boy for 5 years, or for the rest of your life, every time you travel, you have to get into a box and get mailed by the post office with no padding?
Define travel, just so I know. If I'm driving an hour away, is that travel? What's travel?
Anytime you need to essentially get on a plane.
Okay. I'm sorry to say this, but no kids and just me in a box. Give me a charger and my phone, and possibly, and I'll paint a little sign that says "this side up," just so that everybody knows.
Fragile.
And then every time somebody puts me down softly, I go, "Thank you." Make different voices. I'm going with that. I will pimp out my box inside, have pillows and all that stuff. And it doesn't have to be a normal box, right? I can do like a coffin shaped box if I want to.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, coffin shape. Oh, that's just.
Well, it's just so I can lay down. I don't want to be cramped in a box. I don't want to be cramped in a cube.
I think what you should do is be put in one of those pods that people do for immersion, except without the water,
Oh yeah.
so that you have room. It's not a coffin.
Yeah.
So that if
Well,
I was
I just say in a coffin like box.
yeah, I know.
Well, you just said fragile, and it reminds me of a Christmas Story, and you can get into that box that ships the leg,
Oh, yeah.
the lamp. And at least you have some breathing air coming through, and
I forgot what that box even looks like.
it's like a wood crate.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I might prefer a wood crate. I don't know. But either way, I think the options are endless when it comes to that box versus a bubble boy. I mean, bubble boys are cool and everything, but
Because with the crate, then you might get lifted by a forklift.
Yeah, there we
and
go.
not by manpower.
there we go.
So it's always gentle.
Yep. Now, are we talking about the movie Bubble Boy kind of thing, or are we talking about?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
You can have a bubble boy suit.
that can go around.
You can go around.
I don't think I'd want that for 5 years,
5 years.
and the other one's the rest of my life, right?
rest of your life.
We're gonna go visit the grandkids and put me in my box.
Don't touch me.
Hey, can I travel with you? No.
No. Rules say the rules don't say anything about who can be in with you. Sorry. It's the spirit of the law.
Sorry. I did this for myself, and I don't want to subject anybody else to this. So,
Man, Bubble Boy would just be so inconvenient for 5 years.
But if you work from home, you're already a homebody.
It's still inconvenient though. I can't imagine it's nice and circulated in there.
but doesn't he have a bubble room type of a thing?
Yeah, could I make my his house, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got a gerbil maze in there.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah, you can make that.
for 5 years. If you said a year, I'd take that one.
I mean, and this doesn't mean that your life is in danger. It's just you're living in a bubble for 5 years. So if there's a breach, not going to kill you.
For 5 years is what gets me there. If I was 1 year, I would be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's bubble it up.
Sign me up for the bubble boy. Oh my word! That would just be less contact that I would have to be interacting with people.
You as a teacher.
the only thing. Oh man! And the scary thing is every single day the students' desks inch closer and closer to me, and I will like note that like to them, like what are you doing? Are you trying to crush me against the wall? And they're like, our desks haven't moved. I'm like, do you see where that tape is? That's where your desk started.
All right.
Yep. So I'm going shipping in a Craig. Can't wait to go on European trips. Sleeping in my little coffin box.
My little coffin, my little coffin.
Have a TV in there, banging on it. Hey, can I get the Wi-Fi?
That'd be so funny because, I like that, Tim said, being shipped like UPS style or whatever, U.S. Postal Service or whatever, somebody like, tips you over and suddenly they hear a voice, hey, careful, I'm fragile.
Easy.
Read the box. Fragile.
I could hear, I spilled my drink.
Mountain Dew comes out. They're like, oh, that's so gross.
I'd keep a bag of red liquid around just in case they drop me, and then I'd just cut it open.
Ow.
Oh! Fooled you. All right.
Gotcha.
Next is Brett, and you get what if?
All right. What if? So this is almost a kind of a would you rather also, but what if one morning you wake up, you remove the blanket from where your legs are, and you wake up with a centaur body or a mermaid body? What would you choose?
Centaur is the horse.
Uh-huh.
I would go with the centaur body. I'm just a land person.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of what the mermaid body would do for me other than like, because I don't have gills or whatever, right?
Well, I mean, I feel as though you would have the same amount of opportunity that Ariel has.
Okay, so I can do both, land and on land and
Yeah,
in
you
sea,
you just dry
flop
out.
around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it'd be weird, but I'd do centaur. and then just my kids always wanting to get on my back, be like, yeah, it's not a thing now. Don't worry, hop right on. I don't care.
We can hang out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just wait until they're like 20 years old. They're like, hey, Dad, could I take you? Could you take us out for a romantic ride around? It's like, I am not a show pony.
We tried. I got in last place. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not good at hurtling.
Not again.
I'd walk around with a trident too if I was like, because isn't it like like centaurs? Don't they have something that they carry?
Usually have a spear.
Spear? Okay, yeah, I'd have a spear. So, that's fair. All right, and my turn. I get random question. Okay, could you replace all phone calls and texts with only using your speaker on your phone for the rest of your life for $500,000? This is a could you do it kind of thing.
Yeah, I could do it because so I would have to like go to my phone and just and hit the
No, you would have to actually call the person.
Oh.
You'd be using that to talk to them on speaker. So you'd call 100% of the time and always be on speaker.
Yes. So I would always be on speaker, or they would always be on speaker.
Like you would be like on speaker on your phone, so you'd have the speaker, and so you'd be talking to like and doing what older people do.
Yeah.
Just holding their phone up to their mouth and like yelling at it.
And so, like, to text, you have to speak to your phone.
No, you'd call them.
You call them.
So texting is not an option anymore.
Not an option anymore.
Okay.
Oh, then I can't do that.
Because you pick up your phone. I saw you texted, and to answer your question, and you're just talking in the speaker.
Oh, but would that work for like the WhatsApp app where you could just send voice messages or something like that?
I don't know. I never used WhatsApp.
Okay, well, how about just on the text messages where you just speak every single thing that you're saying, and it's a voice memo type of a thing?
Yeah. No. You have to call them.
Can you send pictures?
Yeah, you can send pictures.
Would you have to tell your phone, speak to it, and say, send picture of bowel?
No.
Okay.
Bowel movements or what? No. No, you just, every time somebody texts you and you want to respond, you have to call them always. and it's got to be through speaker to communicate.
Yeah, I'd do that because I would actually like the amount of times I actually use my phone for phone purposes is relatively minimal. And I with people who would text a lot, I would bank a whole bunch of conversations on their end, and then I would call them. I'm like, hey, and so then I would just kind of go down. So earlier you asked this, and then I'm like, all right, well, just I'll get back to you in a couple of other paragraphs of text. So good talking to you.
People slowly stop texting you.
Which would be the dream. Oh my word. Oh,
And you get paid.
exactly. And I get paid.
Do you remember the time? I don't know if you guys experienced this, but back when I first got my cell phone, I hated text messages so much.
Yeah. I would when because I got my first cell phone in 2004 because Mom wanted me to have it because she was worried that I would get abducted and killed. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just have a phone just being like, I'm being abducted. I think I'm going to be killed. And so
now you heard it.
And so because I fought having a cell phone for the longest time because I'm like, no, if you want me, just landline. Just landline. And it drove my friends so nuts. And then like text messaging came along and I was just like, no, I'm just going to fight against this. And then eventually I gave in.
I don't think I had my first cell phone, I don't even know, 2004, 2005, somewhere around there.
I think you had it before me because you had the gray one.
Yeah, the gray one that I put a green sticker on the back that opens up. I
Yeah.
love that phone. That was my favorite phone besides my iPhones. But that one, like, I think I had post high school, so it had to be 2004-ish. So, yeah, but I hated the whole T9 texting and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was garbage.
So, but once they came out with like smartphones, I was like, okay, now I'm more of a fan.
See, my favorite phone that I've ever had was my pumpkin slider phone that had the keyboard.
Oh, I remember that one.
I love that one so much. I was so devastated when it broke.
I remember that. 'Cause
Nikki
they didn't make the same one anymore, right?
Yeah, Nikki wasn't devastated because she's just like, fine, you're going to finally get with the 21st century.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
remember
like,
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I spent like about 6 months trying to find a replacement.
All right, Krill, you're up, and you got Kiss, Marry, Kill.
Okay, this is a duos package.
A duo. Oh, okay.
All right, we got Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock,
Okay.
Tony Stark and Spider-Man,
Okay.
Jake Peralta and Charles Boyle.
Oh, Charles Boyle. That one just throws a little bit of a wrench in there, I feel like. Because I enjoy him as a character, don't enjoy him as ever marrying him. But think of the duo there. You're marrying Jake and Charles. So like one would be like cooking and cleaning, the other one would be your best friend. So I don't know. I'm not marrying Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock though. That's for
No.
sure.
Sadly, I when you first said that at first, I'm like, okay, I don't know who else is coming, but I'm picking them. And now I'm picking them for death.
Yeah, I think I my answer is a Taylor answer. Tony Stark is rich. I'm marrying him. And Peter Parker and I can be friends, even though I don't appreciate his movies like everybody else does. I appreciate him as a friend.
Oh man, Peter Parker would be your arm candy. You just be like, hey, take off your shirt. I want to show you off.
Look what he can do. Look what he can do. Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
And then that rich Playboy millionaire up there or billionaire up there, that's mine too. Except he's not a Playboy anymore, technically, right?
Yeah.
Because that requires being single.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Taylor answer also. I'm going to marry for money and also for arm candy. And then I will kiss Jake Peralta and Goober and then I will take a phaser, set it to kill, and off Spock and Kirk.
So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, except I'm gonna give them one of those Klingon swords and have them fight to the death, and then I'm gonna kill the winner and Not give him any heads up of that. They're like, congratulations, Mr. Spock.
Your prize for winning is death.
Make it fast.
This is illogical.
But I won. Yep. But so
I didn't tell you what the winner got.
Kirk beats you. First guy to die loses. So, but it didn't say that what happened to the second guy.
You get the honor.
You get the honor of
Killed.
dying from my hand. Who would you pick, Criddle?
I'd probably go be on the same boat.
Okay.
All the same boat.
All right, Brett, what would you have done?
All right. So you are dating a very attractive, one would say maybe a Sarah Michelle Gellar type of a person.
Okay.
And
We're talking about, I know what you did last summer, Sarah Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you are dating her, you come to know and find out that she helps elderly people. In fact, she actually has moved in with an elderly person, and she keeps telling you, would you please spend the night because I'm hearing meowing sounds, but they're coming from a little boy.
Okay.
And
know
I
where this is
think there's a creature like on the periphery of my vision, but I'm not 100% sure. What would you do?
going. I'd do it. I mean, having never, obviously this is a world where I've never seen The Grudge, and somehow I'm dating Sarah Michelle Gellar. I would do it.
Yeah, me too. I'm in.
And I'd be like, we're spending the night together, and she's scared. Yeah.
One crime scene photo later.
That boy's just going, Toyota, Mitsubishi.
Oh, Scary Movie 3 is the best out of all of them. It is the absolute best.
I mean, because first of all, I mean, if it's me, like I'm me, and I have my doubts and reservations about haunted things like that, like ghosts. I mean, I'm sure they exist on some form, but until I see it, I don't really know. I don't know how to explain it. Brett, I think you're kind of on the same boat, right?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
but granted, unlike you, I would like to see it, but at the same
You don't want
time,
to tempt fate?
I don't want to tempt fate, and I don't want to see it because I might not ever sleep ever again.
What about you, Krill? Where are you with the supernatural there?
I'd be okay seeing it, and I'd be like, wow, that's great. Bye. You could stay on your haunted farm. It's fine.
This is funny. So, speaking of Sarah Michelle Gellar and you saying goodbye, leaving her if you did, I saw there was a board game called the Final Girl, and essentially it's a board game where it's a horror movie, and you got to be the girl that escapes.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Wow.
Oh, my word.
But the only thing though is it's a one-player game. I was like, this had so many opportunities for a multiplayer game.
Oh, it does have a lot. Oh, man.
Because they have numerous board games out there, and each one's a different horror movie that you have to escape from, the person.
A one-player board game?
Yeah.
That's lame.
I know, because, I mean, it'd be you could really make it a lot of fun and be like, I am the blonde bimbo, or I am the, or what?
You take a chance card like Monopoly, and this is you go off into the woods with the local hottie or whatever.
And then you could get the kind of the character types out of Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
You get.
Oh, man.
So I think that I'm sure it's fun, but it would have been more fun to have more people play than just me by myself. So
Speaking of that, there's actually, I own a movie on iTunes called The Final Girls. It's about a group of people who basically kind of find themselves transported into a Friday the 13th setting. And what happens is they're like, okay, well, we know exactly how this movie is going to end. We just need to be with her. We can't fool around. We can't do a whole bunch of other things because she's the one that makes it out alive. And so if we stick around with her, we'll make it alive too. And then one of the people that is there accidentally backs over her with a truck and kills her. And they're like, uh-oh. And so it's this funny thing where they know the rules of horror movies. The real final girl is dead. So now how do they survive and not die.
So is it worth the watch?
I thought it was fun.
Oh, I'll have to watch it. Is it on your Apple? All
Yep.
right. I'll have to give it a watch. Okay. So we ended with, that was Brett's What Would You Have Done? So yeah, I'm spending the night because like I said, I'm just a little skeptical. And Sarah Michelle Gellar.
And as you're being killed, she just goes, nobody, why do boys don't listen to me? Why do they, nobody believes me?
I believe you. I came here to help you. Bleh. How did that grudge person kill? I don't remember. The kid? Did he kill?
I don't think I think the kid was kind of like a warning, kind of,
Oh,
sort of.
something else in the house?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm last. And I got lick off. Okay. Brett, you probably have a little. I think Brett and you and Krill both have your sides of the coin with understanding the dirtiness of this in some way. Licking the bottom of a shoe of an elementary school janitor, which I know, Krill, you were a janitor for a while, right?
Yes, but we prefer custodians.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say like the custodial arts or whatever.
Custodial engineer.
Yeah. And then, of course, Brett, you're at elementary school. So,
Cleaner tech.
yeah. Licking the bottom of a custodian's shoe of an elementary school.
Is this at the beginning of the shift or the end of
It's
the
at
shift?
the end of the shift. Right as soon as he clocks out. I knew that question was coming.
Mm.
And Criddle, you're to my left, so you get to start the bidding.
Oh, the honor. Okay, so let me go back to my janitor days.
Mop,
What-
mop, mop.
All
All
day
day long.
Let's see there. I was fortunate enough in my janitor days that I got to ride a Zamboni
Oh.
and most of my shift.
Like one of those like mopping Zamboni things,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Our school has a carpet Zamboni. Every
That's
so
cool.
often, I walk past the janitor. I'm like, can I ride that? And he's just like, no. Only I may do this. And
You
it's-
have a
Do you
cool
guys have
job.
carpeted hallways or something?
Yes, we have carpeted hallways.
That's unfortunate.
It actually is a lot nicer because it's a lot less echoey.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. But a lot of rug burns, I'm sure, for kids that fall.
But we're talking about just probably a guy that rolls around a mop bucket and vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. All that
Okay.
jazz.
And this is just a school.
Yep. An
Okay.
elementary school.
Okay, that's a little better than like a hospital.
Yeah, I was going to start with hospital, but I thought
Ooh.
I didn't want to do that. That's too far. I have my limits.
Okay.
Congratulations, you have an amalgamation of 3 different diseases all in one.
And guess what? We're going to call the new disease Criddle.
This one stepped in urine. Okay. I will start the bidding at 2,500.
2,400.
I thought you were going to give it to him right then and there. I thought it would be like, you can have it.
What? And this is from one part of the shoe to the other, or one like just the whole length of the shoe.
You know, originally I was thinking that, but then I was like, man, that really depends on the person, right? Because like if size 6 versus size 12 or
Right.
whatever. We're going to say all the way horizontally of where the widest part is at the like tip kind of area.
Okay,
you know?
and I have one more question. Is this a female janitor or a male janitor?
It's your choice. Like,
Okay, 'cause-
we'll just go to a school and then be like, where's your janitor?
I feel like female janitors tend to not be as messy as male janitors. They don't like. I mean, like, 'cause I remember, if male janitors just step through whatever, they'll step through that puddle. They'll step into that chemical, not a problem. But like a female janitor might be more conscious of her shoes.
Yeah, we'll just pick an elementary school and then we'll just take whatever janitor's on duty.
All right, let's do 2,200.
2,100.
2,000.
19.
18.
17.
I'm pretty confident I know who's going to win this
How
one.
low will I go? 16.
15.
Unless Brett's got some
15.50.
mysterious plan.
Wait, 1550? You're going up?
Oh. Okay. 1400.
1350.
1325.
12.
Okay. 1100.
1050.
Wow, I can't believe this is still going.
1000.
950.
I've seen things.
I've been a janitor too, but my janitor time, it was only chemicals I walked through.
800.
750.
Okay, I have a number in mind as low as I'll go. Okay. 600.
All right, you can have it.
Oh, good.
What was your number?
500.
Brett, did you have any?
Oh, yeah. I was going to choose my custodian. My custodian at my elementary school is German. He's very neat. He is very exact. I would just be like, hey, David, could I lick your shoe? Well,
Then your relationship
he would look
weird.
at me. He'd look at me. Goes, I'm getting money for it. He'd be like, oh, okay. This one's probably cleaner out of the other one. And he would tell me which one would be cleaner.
I would like to see the whole.
You slip him a little bit. Thanks for the help.
And I like to see the conversation afterwards, days afterwards. Like, so, you okay?
You like my shoe?
You want another lick? All right. Well, that wraps up this.
Fake news.
All right. We got fake news. We haven't had this for a long time. I'm going to read. We have 3 rounds. Each round, 3 headlines. And only one of them is true. The rest are all lies. Lies. And so here we go. Start this off. Round 1. Ireland has renamed American football to handball. Okay. Number 2, Texas Pete hot sauce makers sued over Texas Pete hot sauce makers sued over famed product being from North Carolina. Number 3, man living on Mexican border avoids Mexican and U.S. taxes.
I'm gonna go with the hot sauce.
I'll go with the man on Mexican border.
All right, Brett has 1 point on the board.
Yeah. It's gonna be like no, like both governments would be fighting over him. They're like, no, he's paying our tax. No, he's paying our tax. You know what? Why don't we just agree? He pays both of our taxes.
Okay. Okay. Round 2. CatCon reveals a new art exhibit dedicated to a national treasure, Nicolas Cage. Number 2. Pineapple eating contest winner consumes 9 whole pineapples. Number 3. Australian botanist creates new plant and names it after Stranger Things Demogorgon.
I wonder what that would look like. If that exists, that'd be the coolest plant ever.
I know, right?
Oh.
If that ain't real, it ought to be.
Exactly. All right, botanists, get on board. What was the second one?
The second one was pineapple eating contest winner consumes 9 whole pineapples.
I'm going to go with that one.
I'm going to go with the Nick Cage.
Criddle has a point on the board.
Wow.
And for funsies' sake, I thought I'd look it up and show you. There's the CatCon picture. It's a cat holding Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I misheard that. I heard Capcom.
Oh.
Like
CatCon, like the video game?
Yeah, and then when you said when I heard Capcom, I was just like, well, no, that would be more like Mega Man.
I heard that too, and I was like, what?
All right.
That looks like a rug.
Yeah, it's a really ugly picture. Okay, final round. It's both tied 1-1. It gets intense here. Oh, it's funny that I wrote this like a couple weeks ago, and this is coming up. X-Files' David Duchovny had a UFO sighting. Number 2, man bites police dog. Woman punches officer. And number 3, years after How I Met Your Mother concluded, people continue to attempt to lick the Liberty Bell.
Well, I can only assume, first off, I think people had always tried to lick the Liberty Bell. We just didn't know about it.
Tastes like pennies.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh. What was the first one again?
X-Files, David Duchovny had a UFO sighting.
Oh.
I'm leaning towards that one.
Oh. What was the second one?
Man bites police dog. Woman punches officer.
I'm going to go with that one, and it probably took place in Florida.
I'm going with UFO and hope it takes place in Florida.
Brett wins! Let me look that up.
Rightfully earned.
Find out where. Oh, I think it takes place in Germany.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see. Police in Germany said Friday they detained a man for resisting arrest and biting a service dog. Man bites police dog, woman punches officer. Yep, that's interesting. And I gotta say though, so as doing these fake news used to be not so fun for me because it was hard to find those fake articles like The Onion, because The Onion, they're very unbelievable headlines. So I had to really filter through and find ones that could possibly be believable. But once I started making up my own headlines, this was a heck of a lot more fun.
Oh, it is. It's the only reason why I didn't go with David Duchovny is you even said in your thing that it was made up.
I said what?
You even said it made up. You made it up. You said, "Oh, I typed this one up yesterday or last couple weeks ago."
Oh,
So I'm 100% convinced that wasn't authentic.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know by any of these. If I didn't mark them true or false, I didn't remember which one. But I was proud of the Demogorgon one.
That was. I appreciate that, and we do need to get a botanist that creates some sort of Demogorgon-like plant that doesn't eat people.
Yes, please.
Yep. Please.
Draft, boom.
All right, we have draft, boom here, except this week it's recast. So we are going to recast the TV show Seinfeld with a more modern cast. And that's all we're going to do. So we're all going to take turns because we share and take turns. And Krill's going to start us off with, and you get to pick. So we're going to be picking Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer's recasting characters. And we get to pick which one we want to pick at which time.
Okay. So I've got the first pick. And I'm going to surprise probably some of you, maybe. But for my casting of Jerry.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, that would surprise me.
Well, you ruined the surprise.
George is Penny Hardaway. And Charles Barkley.
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal would be a good George. But
Yeah,
super
it would.
tall one. I'm going to go with Colin Yost
Oh, okay.
for
Yeah,
Jerry.
I can see that.
All right, so I'm going to cast my Jerry, and I'm going to go with, and this one was the hardest one for me to come up with.
Don't do it.
I'm going to go with Zachary Levi.
Okay.
I had him on my list, but I thought one of you would pick him.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking him, but you know what? Let me think. Yeah, that would work. That would work. I like it.
You'd watch.
I'd watch. Oh yeah, I'd watch in a heartbeat. And I'd be like, "Can we be besties?" Because that's what I think every time I see him. Can we be besties? Okay, this is the one I was. Well, actually, I don't have to worry about it because you guys have already picked your Jerry's. So I'm gonna go after somebody else. I'm gonna pick as my George, Josh Gad.
Really?
Olaf?
Olaf? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds surprising to all of you.
I'm surprised.
Yes.
I think it would be good. I think he would be right up that alley. I mean, I wasn't going exactly for body stereotype, being short and stocky,
Yeah.
but I thought he'd be hilarious.
All right, you have the wheel.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Wheel. Okay, and I am going with... you guys aren't going to take it, but I'm going to go with Kramer. And I don't know if you guys know who he is, but his name is Ike Barinholtz. And let me pull up a picture here. So he's the guy from... He's from a lot of things. But he's... If you ever seen the Mindy Project, he's on the Mindy Project.
Oh.
He is off of a lot of movies as like a... Oh, he's in that one movie where he hunts down his kids. I don't know. They're worried that they're going to have premarital sex. I forget what it was. And he's also on that Nick Cage movie that I referenced a couple of weeks back.
I need to watch that.
So he's a funny guy. And I think he'd be a great Kramer.
All right. My Kramer is Jay Barchul, who is the How to Train a Dragon guy. And also, he's been on a couple of...
She's Out of My League.
Yeah, She's Out of My League.
Who is this? What's his name?
J.
Baruchel.
Oh, I see it.
Chel.
I searched for him. It says Canadian actor. Oh man, I don't. Where do I know him from? Okay,
His voice is How to Train a Dragon. That's probably what he's best known for.
I like him in She's Out of My League. I do appreciate that movie.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that movie.
Do you know who he is?
I mean, I've got him pulled up here.
Okay.
He's on the. Okay, I think I actually remember him on Sorcerer's Apprentice. Is he's the apprentice?
Yes.
He's
Yep.
the apprentice.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, that was forever ago. I watched that. Has anybody? He's on Letterkenny. I'm just curious. Has anybody ever seen that show? I see it advertised a ton whenever I so happen to be watching TBS.
I don't have cable
I don't
anymore,
have cable.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
Okay, so you guys both pick your Kramer. I'll just pick my Kramer. Mine will make sense if you've seen a particular TV show. It only aired for I think 2 seasons, but Tyler Labine.
Tyler Labine. Man, I'm so bad with people's names.
So am I.
Okay, so Tyler Labine. Have you ever seen the show Reaper?
Yeah, Reaper.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the heavier kind of friend.
Oh, yeah.
No, yes.
I think he would make a great Kramer based on his character in Reaper.
Yeah.
Yes, he would be.
And he's also in Tucker and Dale versus
Yeah.
Evil.
He's kind of crazy, and he seems like a hermit that would live by himself. He feels like a Kramer to me.
Yeah, he was on a TV show recently. I'm trying to remember what it was.
He was on this one. He was actually on a serious TV show called Surface about an alien invasion.
He was also on Rise of the Planet of the Apes as a scientist for a
Wow.
brief moment.
He gets killed, I take it?
Yes, he gets sicky.
You know, there's not that many people that I root against their career for, but the main guy on Reaper, I'm glad that he has no career.
Yes, I know. That was sad that show got, him and the girl didn't want to keep going.
It's funny. The guy that plays the devil, Ray Wise,
Uh-huh.
I think he would be a good Newman.
Just, yeah. Have you ever seen Fresh Off the Boat? He's he's the neighbor to the Chinese family, and he's great.
Man.
He's probably one of the main reasons why I kept watching that show.
Okay, so I have the wheel, and I will just keep going down my list with George, and I will pick Nick Frost.
Nick
Oh,
Frost.
that's a good one.
Shaun of the Dead,
Okay. That's
Wow.
the best friend.
yeah, that's the best friend. Okay.
You almost somewhat stole my George.
Wow. Almost did.
Almost.
Almost did.
No, that would be a good George.
I feel as though you and me are in the same ballpark with George. I'm going to go Elaine because nobody's gone Elaine, and I was actually fearful that Tim was going to grab this. Elaine, Anna Faris.
Okay. That would be a good one. You're Jerry, Zachary, Levi, and Elaine. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I could see that. Yeah.
Anna
Okay.
Faris was one of my choices, but not the top choice.
Yeah, she wasn't on mine. I'm gonna do my Jerry and just get it over with. If you ask me,
Nick Cage.
no,
Keanu Reeves.
this person is like a mini Jerry. I feel like most of the world sees it, and I think his failed TV show was almost exactly a
Oh,
replica. Of.
I know exactly who you're doing. John Mulaney.
Yep, that is correct. John Mulaney. Like he's just a mini Jerry, except if you ask me, a better comedian. Sorry, Jerry.
What's the deal with that?
And then my Elaine is going to Mindy Kaling,
All right.
which is a weird
Oh.
thing with John Mulaney. I imagine. I don't know if the chemistry's there, but I think she's hilarious.
All right. And I guess I will do my last pick, which is George. And I have for my George, Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais as George.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm just thinking about that. He's so mean, though.
So is George.
George isn't. I mean, he's shallow. Yeah.
I mean, there's another person I was thinking about for George, and what's it? He's on the Late Late Show. What is his name? The English guy that.
Craig Ferguson.
No, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
I love Craig Ferguson.
Oh,
in
you're
the Drew
talking about.
Carey show.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the singer dude.
The karaoke in cars.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Whatever his name is.
I know who you're talking about.
I was thinking about him, but I would prefer Ricky Gervais.
I just wanted to think about this. I just don't see Zachary
James
Levi.
Corden.
Yeah, James Corden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zachary Levi and Ricky Gervais being friends would be so weird. And then I'm not familiar with Jay's on-screen presence so much as Kramer, and then Anna Faris though, like I feel like Ricky Gervais just throws this whole I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
I think it works. I mean, like, if you ever watch the movie, what is it? The Invention of Lying. He's pretty good on that as the dentist.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. He what happens in that? He sees
Every
dead people.
No, there's that one too where he sees dead people. But the history of lying or the invention of lying is, I think it's the worst title for a movie possible. Is because basically these people have no inner monologue and they just they'll just walk up to somebody and be like, "Oh, ugly hat," and it's just like, no, that's not lying. That is having an inner monologue, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But these people just say whatever is on their mind. I'm like, that's not lying. That's just not saying every single thing that you think out loud.
Yeah.
So that's my only issue with the history of lying. But yeah, the ghost one, that was the other thing that kind of had me think about it. I'm not 100 huge into his stand-up. I've tried numerous occasions. I've heard some great things about it, and it's okay.
I thought of another George, but he's way too old. And it would have been Lewis Black.
Oh,
I don't like Lewis Black.
But to me, he's so angry.
Oh,
And
he
it's
is.
To me, that's a George.
Yes. I feel like where George increases to that height at occasion, where Lewis Black is always at that
Just
level.
always angry.
oh,
I don't get his comedy
Oh.
at all.
I know who would be a good one. What is it? Not Bill Engvall as George.
As George?
Because
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's not the best
Yeah.
George, but he could possibly pull off George. Ooh, that's what we need to do. We need to so redneck Seinfeld. So you have Jeff Foxworthy as Jerry.
yeah.
Larry
Larry the Cable Guy
George
should be
would
George.
George would be Larry the Cable Guy. Bill Engvall would be Kramer.
Uh-huh.
And now we just need a redneck Elaine.
Is there any famous redneck comedians?
I don't know.
I can't think of any. Or female comedians. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
All right, Criddle.
I
Let's
got
hear
my
that.
Elaine.
Okay,
All right.
who's your Elaine? I'm curious.
I'm kind of leaning on two, but I'm going to go with the more comedic one. I'm going to go with Kate McKinnon
Okay.
as Elaine.
I could see the chemistry there with Colin Yost. Let's see. I'm just writing it down so I can have it for posterity. So Colin Yost, Kate McKinnon. Okay, I see that. I mean, they were definitely on screen together a lot on SNL. Tyler Labine is Kramer. Nick Frost. I feel like the only one that like Nick Frost is a great character, but would they mesh well with the rest of them?
I think so.
I mean, mine, Josh Gad. I don't even know how that would work. Like, see, John Mulaney and Minnie Kaling. That one's weird, also for me. Then Ike. I think Ike. I mean, the one thing is, I feel like you can grab any person to play Kramer and it works. Like, because he doesn't need to have good chemistry. He's weird.
Yeah. He needs to be the odd friend.
I also don't know if John Mulaney and Josh Gad would work as friends. I don't know. I maybe didn't think about this so well.
I mean, to me, I was thinking with George, who would be a great pathological liar? Because that to me is George, just a straight up liar. And I think Nick Frost would be able to pull that off.
Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. Yes, he is. He would be a great liar, and he would laugh about. I mean, just like the on Shaun of the Dead, where he goes, "Hey, I'm sorry for what? Oh, but yeah, I think, in my opinion, okay, just for funsies, who got the best Jerry out of everybody? Colin Yost, Zachary Levi, or John Mulaney? Who's the best in hindsight? Or are you guys all sticking to your guns?
John Mulaney is pretty good.
Yeah, maybe John Mulaney.
Okay, who's the best George? Nick Frost, Jay, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Oh, no, so that's Kramer. Nick Frost, or Ricky Gervais, or Josh Gad. I think Nick Frost might get it there.
Yeah, I agree with Nick Frost.
Elaine Kate McKinnon, Minnie Kaling, or Anna Faris. I think Anna Faris might.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna Faris.
And then last Kramer. I'm a little at a disadvantage because I don't know Jay Barshul or whatever his name is that well. And Tyler Labine. Remind me. Oh, that's the guy from Reaper. And then Ike Barinholtz, the guy from the Mindy Project and other stuff.
Okay, Reaper guy gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably
Actually, do you know what? I would like his Latin friend as Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
He's
about the
crazy
Latin dude.
He's crazy.
I'm trying to remember. Like, what's about him? He's. I just forgot.
Gonzalo.
Yeah, but what makes him weird? I mean,
I don't know. He acts pretty weird in this show.
does he? I'm trying to remember because I see him. I just don't remember how he acted. Anywho, all right. Honorable mentions.
I was thinking I only have one honorable mention. I was trying to get all the ones that I feel as though were going to be stolen out of the way first. My only honorable mention is French Stewart as Kramer.
Okay.
That would work.
Especially when you think of Third Rock from the Sun.
I would almost like the change in the weirdness there. Instead of being Kramer weird, it's French Stewart weird, which is his own thing.
Yeah.
For me, for Jerry, I had Andy Samberg.
That's a good one.
I had Andy Samberg.
I put on there just an idea as Jason Bateman. I like the idea of Keegan Michael Peele, also as Jerry, and Paul Rudd.
Oh, Paul Rudd would be good.
And then George, I had Patton Oswalt, which I'm not the biggest fan of him. He's everywhere these days,
Yes,
mainly
he
a
is.
voice actor.
Voice actor.
I had Chris Hart on there. I still kind of have some regrets.
Chris Hart would be a good George.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious. I kind of regret not picking him after I just reread.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's...
I should have gone through my list before. I just went with my first ones on each one of these. I didn't even read through the other ones because I did this, like I said, a couple of weeks ago. Jason Biggs is George. It kind of works. David Spade. It's a whole different direction, and then Ken Jeong. Then Kristen Wiig was my only honorable mention for Elaine. And then for Kramer, I had Russell Brand. Also,
That's a good one.
Also,
Man,
okay, what?
You hit two of them out of the park with your honorable mentions. Oh, my word.
Then Ken Jeong also was a possibility for Kramer. John C. Reilly.
Oh, I can't. I'd love to. Him and Will Ferrell have made me dislike both of them kind of together.
Well, it's funny because then after that, I immediately wrote Will Ferrell.
You might need to recast your recast.
Yeah. Because, I agree. It'd be kind of fun to have Chris Hart and Russell Brand.
And then if you had, your actual Jerry,
John Mulaney.
that's a good trio right there. And then Mindy would actually like work right there.
Mindy Kaling as
You might have had the perfect cast right there.
No. All right, who'd you have?
Okay, for Jerry, I thought this was too much on the nose. Jimmy Fallon, Andy Samberg, Miles Teller, and Zachary Levi.
Who's Miles Teller? Remind me of that person.
He was on the not horrible Fantastic Four. He's on
the not horrible one.
no
So
the bad one,
which one's the bad one in your mind?
the most recent one.
Okay, I just had to make sure.
He was also on Top Gun Maverick with the stash,
Top Gun Maverick is the stash.
the mustache. Goose's
Oh,
son.
Who was he?
I
He
don't
was
know.
on the
I haven't
horrible
seen the
one?
movie.
The most recent one's not the horrible one, is what you're saying.
The most recent one is the horrible one.
Okay.
It's also the one with Michael B. Jordan as.
Oh, so you're talking about the Miles. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember which is.
He
which
was
one?
Mr. Fantastic.
He is
Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Oh man, I just blacked that out.
Yeah, it's good because I can't scrub that out.
I haven't seen it, so yay. For Kramer, I had a lot of older guys for Kramer. So like Ryan Stiles.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one, actually. You can pull it off. I mean, have you ever seen him on 2.5 Men when he marries Charlie Sheen's ex-wife?
No.
I didn't watch that show religiously or anything, but I'm like, that's weird.
Let's see. So Ryan Stiles, I had Vince.
Ooh, John Cryer as George.
Who's John Cryer? Is that 2.5
That's
Men?
the brother.
Yeah, the brother.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he kind of plays the same character.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had Vince Vaughn, Donald Glover,
As who?
Kramer.
As Kramer? Don Glover? I don't know about Don Glover. I could see him.
Don Glover could be a Jerry.
I feel like he'd be I was picturing him as kind of just a hermit in his apartment.
Oh, okay. I can see where you're going with that.
Just hardly ever coming out and
Just
just
being
coming,
like
grabbing food and leaving.
Kind of the weird version when he's on Community. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, he's kind of that weird, hermitish.
I had Dane Cook, David Duchovny, and Tom Arnold.
So you want
Tom
as George?
As Kramer,
Oh, as Kramer. So Dane Cook, you just wanted somebody to be screaming the entire time.
basically.
Okay.
Yep.
Who screams louder in your opinion, Dane Cook or Brian Regan? Because they both, I feel like,
So
they both yell at you.
Here's the funny thing about that you bring that up is yesterday I was going through Netflix trying to find something to watch, and I came across what was the comedian that you had that you dislike, kind of, sort of, that's everywhere? You put it on there.
Oh, I put on my list?
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt?
Yeah, Patton Oswalt. I saw he had a stand-up thing. I just immediately went thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Brian Regan had one. I immediately went thumbs down. No.
I think I'm appreciative of Patton Oswalt as a voice actor, like on Ratatouille, one of my more favorite Pixar movies. And then, of course, I liked him as a voice actor for Goldberg. Not really a big fan of him being on screen.
I like him on Mystery Science Theater 3000 because he does what he's supposed to do, is be a doofus.
Yeah.
And let's see. For George, I had Seth Green, Kevin James, Lewis Black, Chris Pratt, a bigger Chris Pratt, and Jonah Hill. For Elaine, I had Linda Cardinelli.
Who's that?
She plays, I think, Velma on Scooby-Doo, the live action.
Oh, yeah.
Did she play anything else? Because
Yeah.
She was in Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. She was also in, she was Hawkeye's wife.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Eliza Dushku, Emma Stone, Tina Fey, Rachel McAdams, and Anna Faris. And I actually cast Newman. My first choice was Emilio Estevez.
The Mighty Duck Man?
Emilio! And every time he walks in the door, Emilio!
Hello, Emilio. Ray Wise.
Who? Who's Ray Wise?
Ray Wise, the devil on Reaper.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ben Stiller, Nick Offerman,
Nick Offerman would be great.
Neil Flynn,
Who's that?
The janitor on Scrubs.
He'd be a good Newman.
That would be a good new one. That'd be fun.
And then just a gender swap, Christine Baranski, who's Leonard's mom.
Leonard's mom. Him. Oh, is that the?
She's
the
off of
psychiatrist?
Roseanne.
Or
right?
no? Oh, Leonard's mom.
Leonard's mom on
Not Sheldon's mom, but Leonard's
Leonard's
mom.
mom.
Yeah, so that's the psychiatrist one.
Yeah.
That's on
As a Newman.
Yeah, the Grinch and other stuff.
So that's if we cast Newman.
That'd be funny because, yeah, I think a female Newman would be kind of funny. Some type of her. Back to what we were talking about earlier. So, what is everybody's ranking of the Fantastic Four?
I like Silver Surfer #1.
Really? Okay.
The original first movie 2, and way at the bottom of the list is the most recent one.
Really? Because I think I like them in the order of release.
That might be mine too. I haven't seen the latest one though, so I don't know. That's at the bottom because I haven't seen it.
I mean, as far as a bad movies goes, it wasn't horrible. It was my recollection.
Well, I mean, the sad part about it is you waited until it to me has the same issue. The reason why I like Black Adam so much is the first 5 minutes, if that was a Marvel movie, that would have been the entire movie. It would have been the entirety of the origin story of Black Adam. And then and with that one, I know it's a Sony movie, but basically you spend the entire movie for them to get their superpowers, and then they're about ready to say, we're the Fantastic Four, and they're just like, we're just the Fantastic, and then it cuts to a black screen.
I hate when they do
Avengers.
Yeah, that would have been funny if they all get the group together for the Avengers. We're finally all together. We're all on the same team. Now let's go fight. Roll credits.
So we need to recast the Fantastic Four.
Well, they're kind of doing that right now.
Yeah, I mean, the leak is the one black guy from The Bad Place is going to be Mr. Fantastic.
What guy? The guy from The Bad Place?
The black guy
from
from The Bad Place.
Are we talking about The Good Place, the show?
Or sorry, The Good Place. Yeah, sorry.
What?
Oh, real? Oh, okay.
Oh, that guy. I thought John Krasinski was going to play
That's
Mr. Fantastic.
Well, according to what I've heard and read, that he was like, people were like, oh, that's who should be Mr. Fantastic. And so they just said, okay, and threw him in the movie.
That was just fan service.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean, because he was from a whole different world of being
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, so it can be anybody.
so, but the rumor is the black guy from The Good Place is going to be Mr. Fantastic.
I don't know how I see that.
It's funny. I saw a fan art poster the other day, and it had John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, his wife as the Invisible Woman, and the I don't know who was the thing, but the Johnny Storm. It was I can't remember his name. He's in Stranger Things. He plays the brother of Max.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was a Red Ranger in the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah. So they were casting him
Max's
as
like stepbrother
Max's brother. Yeah.
The guy that gets possessed.
Yeah.
and killed.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler.
He was drawn in as Johnny Storm.
I mean, I only see him as a douche, so that's really hard for me to, because like I love Chris Evans, Johnny Storm.
He does play the Red Ranger in
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
Okay, I'll have to check him out.
Yeah. You know what? Let's start a slogan. Let's make Johnny Storm Chris Evans again.
Yes,
I think Chris Evans said he'd be on board for doing that.
really.
Yeah, because he misses his comedic side.
Yeah, I miss his comedic side. He hasn't returned to his comedic side in, I don't know, over a decade.
Yeah.
Everything is super serious these days.
I mean, would you say his character was a little comedic in Knives Out?
Yeah, it was a little bit. It was a little bit. It was a
serious,
taste.
serious comedy.
He was a straight guy, and comedy was happening around him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and he was kind of being a little bit of a wise guy here and there, but he was nothing like he was with Johnny Storm, or definitely nowhere near not another teen movie. What he did another comedy, hasn't he? Like that was been a pretty big one.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim, kind of. Yeah.
He was in that. He was also in I didn't know it was a DC property until a while. The Losers.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that either.
Really?
That's a prime
Oh.
example of a comedy that I'd like to see with Chris Evans again. That was a great movie when that came out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still appreciate it. But it's definitely
Way back when I didn't even know who Idris Elba was.
I didn't know anybody in that whole cast, like from the guy who played
The
Negan
Winchester's dad.
and Winchester's dad. Yeah, same guy. I didn't know. I recognized Chris Evans. I think he was the only person that I'm like, oh, I know who you are. But the rest of them, I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Idris Elba was in that movie until he just said that. But yes, I do see him now as I'm replaying it in my head. I didn't even know who the girl was.
Yeah, was it
Zoe?
Zoe?
Zaldana.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was.
She's in so much.
Yes, she is. If you look back, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't like. I didn't know that was the same girl. All right. Well, let's move on to our recommendation. I got nothing for you this week, really, as far as like a good, solid like TV recommendation or anything, because I've been just trying to. This week has been a miserable week for the household of the Williams because everybody's throwing up. This started Sunday night and has continued to last night. So fun stuff. But my one recommendation in that line is I gave it for Brett a Christmas present last year, phone soap. I recently on TikTok came across their TikTok, whatever, streaming. What is it called?
I don't know.
It's not their page because it's not a page. But anyways, I started seeing their videos and like it just creeps me out. Like one of the experiments they did was they went throughout New York City doing like sightseeing and stuff like that. And they had a guy who didn't wash his hands at all throughout the whole day. They had a guy that washed his hands like the normal way and the normal amount, not anything crazy. Like every time he go to the bathroom, whatever, wash his hands. Then they had a person that was like super hyper focused on using like Purell, and all of them like had stuff all over their phones, and they like cleaned it at the start of it, and I was like, ugh. And stuff like that makes me a germaphobe, but I'm not really a germaphobe, but it just makes me gross to think about.
Oh, you're easily like if you're a public school teacher, like some of the things that you see and just watch and witness, you're just like, I'm surrounded by like 30 of these people who do these things. Like we've had cupcakes for, a birthday party or something like that, and one of the kids' cupcake landed frosting side down on the carpet, and the kid, as I told him, don't do that, looked at me, took his finger, scrubbed the icing off of the carpet, and put it in his mouth. And I'm sitting there going, and all the other kids are just like, well, yeah, of course. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, when I was 10, I'd do the same thing too.
And for those that don't know, phone soap is like a UV light case that you put your phone in for, it's about 10 to 20 minutes or something like that. And it just kills all the germs on there. Especially because I'm a user on the toilet. So yeah, I've got to do it. And then
It takes 10 minutes to clean.
like it just goes. You put it in there, and yeah.
I didn't know it took 10 minutes.
I don't know how long it takes, but it takes a while.
Wow. I always take like an alcohol wipe and
Yeah.
clean it.
So it's funny. Fun fact, though, I lost my keys. I don't think you know about that, Criddle, but I lost my key. Maybe I said it on the podcast.
I think you did, yeah.
But I lost my keys almost a year ago. And we couldn't find them. It was in the phone soap. I put it there. And then my wife walked past and said, oh, there's the phone soap. It's left out. I'll put it away. And then I forgot where I put it. And I didn't think that I put it in there. And a month later, we found it when we were cleaning stuff up.
All right.
Yeah.
So my recommendation, I have two of them. So one is I saw a clip just randomly pop up on YouTube, which was the Austin Powers, Wang, pay attention. Oh, I am so sorry. I was distracted by that big Willie Nelson. And I was just like, I love Austin Powers so much. Oh, I had not thought about that moment in the longest time. And I'm like, oh, I love it. I
Eat
love
my
it so
fish.
much.
Not too much.
Not too much. And my second recommendation is if you've not watched two of his comedy specials on Netflix, Dimitri Martin.
Oh yes.
I think he is hysterical. I love his notepad. It is so fun and funny to watch.
Dimitri Martin is the only comedian that I enjoy their playing the guitar, like, and doing comedy at the same time. Most other comedians, I'm like, oh, I hate this. Stop. This is painful. This is not comedy. But he's funny, and I like his style of just telling a joke, and it doesn't need to continue. Like,
No, it's done.
it's a joke. It's done.
He's one of the few though you actually have to watch.
Yes.
You have to watch it. You
Uh-huh.
can't just listen.
My favorite, one of the things that always come to my mind is the joke about, isn't it like cruel how we tear down trees and build a tree house and then have a tree hold all his friend's dead corpse, or more or less. I was not doing it justice, but that was my favorite.
The one that got me the other day, because I was going through YouTube to see if I could find, because I rewatched all I bought one special on iTunes, and then there's two others on Netflix. And I was like looking for another one, and I came across this one. He was on a couple of late night shows, and I love it because he's like, you know what? Some people don't like bumper stickers, but I do. I appreciate them. They're shortcuts for like, hey, let's never hang out.
I remember when I was little, I wanted to have like the back of my whole car covered in bumper stickers because I thought that was cool. And then I got a car. I'm like, I don't want to put anything on this car. It costs so much. Why would I want to ruin it?
I know. I saw this one person had like, way back when the Avengers movie came out, they had like the Avenger A, like, logo glued to. I'm like, that's so cool. I should buy that. And then I saw a Superman one. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I should buy one. I saw a Batman logo. That is so cool. I should buy one. And then I bought one and I held it up to my car and I just stared. And I'm like, I can't put this on here.
Yep. I don't know if I could ever do it.
No. Okay, my recommendation, I finally did it. I finally watched it. You recommended it last year.
8-Bit Christmas?
8-Bit Christmas.
Yes.
Yep. That
Things just got real.
So we were shopping at Walmart and we saw 8-Bit Christmas on the shelf. I was like, okay, if I buy it, then chances are we're going to definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we committed to it last Sunday. It was great.
It's great. Yeah,
I
I love
recommend
the
it.
storytelling.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, what color was your helmet? Oh, because you're supposed to wear helmets, of course, because we were super safe in the 80s.
Things got real.
Things got real.
I like how they like said the rich friend, because I had a rich friend.
Oh, yeah.
That had like all the toys, and then
The ones that you would use.
yes,
And then my mom found out that I like went to use somebody, and my mom's just like, "You don't really like them. Like, stop using them. That's rude." And that's how I lost like playing some of the games that I was playing.
yeah, like my friend had a Game Genie, which we never had,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
was just like awesome. And then I think they had the glove for a second, the Nintendo glove.
There is a cool documentary. I'm not sure if it's still available on Prime about the glove, but like that is like a hunk of junk. Like, it was amazing.
I love the portrayal in that movie with the glove. and
Uh-huh.
how garbage it was.
When you watched it for the first time, Criddle, were you so invested in him getting that Nintendo? Because I was so like, I was heartbroken every time it didn't come through. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then his dad being played by Zane.
Oh yeah. He is
Steve
such
Zahn.
Zahn, that's right.
Steve Zahn, such a good actor.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Good show. Good movie.
Oh yeah, highly recommend.
I love him as the dad in Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, see ya.